Hey Nigel, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad. Sid's here. I've got a couple of my team members as well, Serby and Dolly. I see Dennis is on. Dan will be essentially walking us through the process. The hopes right now is here for everyone involved, my side as well as Nesson's side, to get a good understanding of how to pull the logs, with us being able to assist Nesson if any situations does come up where you guys aren't able to. We can definitely be able to step in, as well as our team, possibly for other operators that may be in the evenings or different times, others that may be able to provide the same type of training for those individuals on how to essentially pull these logs from Nesson's system specifically. So I'm not too sure if I'm waiting. Oh, hey Dennis, sorry,
Hello.
and Nick.
No worries.
I'm not too sure if Eric's going to be joining as well. I
He's gonna
don't
join.
believe.
He's
Okay.
gonna join a little late. He's in. Yeah, everything's okay. He just has an appointment. So he may join a little late.
Okay, that's not a problem. The session is being recorded right now, so we can definitely have it available for playback or have him join another one that I'll probably put the emphasis on Dolly or Serby to uh, train others and definitely see hopefully we can have some takeaways from this. So I guess with that intro, Dan, the floor is all yours. Take us through it.
Sure. So I guess the
Thank
first
you.
thing is we got to get logged in here. I have a few options. New jump block stations that were set up for you guys. Is that appropriate?
Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna
you,
try
you need.
jump. I'm gonna try jump one and see what happens.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we're not using any
It
of it.
looks like I'm in there. Somebody's on an activation screen, but okay, I'm just gonna minimize that. There is an M remote here, so that would seem like the right thing. Let me start sharing here so you guys can see. Okay, so this looks familiar. So I take it I take it you're A, on air with these, and B, this is really just an upgrade. Can I log into one of these?
We are on there with them all. Except for
Okay,
the UHD backup. That's the one
let, let's do that
we're
one
not using.
first. But what we're doing here isn't going to affect on air.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll log into the UHD backup for now. Uh, all right, so we'll look at the root of C and see what you've got. You do have a scripts folder. This does look like it's a bit vintage. I want to take a look at this one and make sure that you're not actually writing to a custom folder. Right. So this is the default folder that all of these scripts will write to the temp folder on C. I just wanted to make sure that nobody had altered that before we do anything here.
So everything will always be in the C drive temp folder.
Right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade these scripts because they look a little vintage.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just unzip these. Get rid of those. Okay, so those have been upgraded. Now these scripts, there's several of them here. Most of them are generally reserved for field reps or Imagine reps that are doing troubleshooting or diagnostics of sorts. But in a lot of cases, the two that you're going to be interested in here, or actually there's three. There's this backup Versio configuration, the copy Versio logs, or what's in the audit folder here. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to run all three just to show you how things work. Okay, on here, for any of these scripts, what you do is you right click to get the context menu and then choose Run in PowerShell. So this will run to completion. And what this is doing, you can see it right at the top there. It's writing to a subfolder of the C temp folder. This is looking for a system ID. The only way we had of doing it was to look through the logs. It may or may not find it. That's useful for troubleshooting any sort of licensing errors if we can retrieve the ID. If not, well. And it really depends on how long it's been since the license server has been restarted. And this is largely doing configuration only, and that script is complete. So it's the same thing if you're collecting logs. It's this script here. Right-click and run in PowerShell. This one may take slightly longer. There's a lot more files involved. So it looks like it's been a little while since this machine has been restarted or that license server has been restarted.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really use the backup UHD as much, so I think
Yeah,
it's been a while. Yeah.
it's all good. There are some 63 places where this script runs around and looks for logs. And it's suitable for pretty much any appliance that Imagine has on the playout side.
And once the PowerShell disappears, that's when you know that it's completed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow, looks like you got a lot of Magellan logs. Those are fairly sizable too. Now, if you guys are collecting logs using these scripts, the important part is to actually collect the logs soon enough after an event. Now, that's whether they get delivered to us. If you just run the script and leave them on the system, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if we have. I don't believe we have internet connection there, so I don't think we could just like log into our email and email the script. So if we just email you saying, "Hey, we left the script on the jump box," is that okay for you to just jump in and look for it?
Yeah, whoever takes the case, if you let them know that,
Yeah.
that the scripts were located on whatever system,
Yep.
then they can be collected that way. Or right now we've done two of the scripts here. We've done the backup and we've done the copy logs. The last one I want to show you is the audit. So in order to run this, it's this second last file here, this WinAudit VBS. And you just double click, then don't enter anything, and just say OK. Now this one takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to complete. And this is also largely about configuration in a very different way. So now we've seen it's created a results subfolder here. And that's where this script actually writes its resulting file. But we'll just have to wait this out.
Once we do this, I mean, we can just tell you like, hey, it's in the results folder. You guys can just go in and search for it within the scripts.
Right. Now, as a general rule, the config doesn't change every day. So the audit, if we're opening up something for R&D, they typically ask for an audit along with the logs. But it may not be something you have to collect every day because the config doesn't change very often.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing to grab is the logs because those can roll over.
Okay. I mean, could we within each Versio, like on the desktop, just have a folder there to make it easier for you guys? So we just drag it over to that folder and you guys just go into that folder and oh, it's there.
Well, it can stay in the temp folder.
Okay. Okay. We'll leave it that way.
Well, once this script actually completes, I'll show you guys some other stuff in case you want to move them off the system.
Is the only reason why it's taken long for UHD is because we haven't.
No,
Yeah,
this script, regardless of what system it is, it always takes a fair amount of time.
Okay.
It's not like the PowerShell ones. The PowerShell ones basically whip through compared to this.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So that's still running in the background. And when it's complete, it will come up with a pop-up message that says it's complete. You need to click OK to. So we'll just probably about another 5 minutes. And did you want these scripts deployed to all of the systems? Is that the idea for today?
I would guess so, yeah, because of sometimes some of the issues happen on different Versios. It doesn't mainly happen on one specific Versio. One day it will be on the Boston HD, next day it will be on the Plus, next day it will be on the Utility 2. So yeah.
I'm just going to copy this to the jump box. It's quicker than copying it from my remote system. Okay, so there's the pop-up I was referring to. That is complete. So if we go back into the audit folder, there's our audit file. So you just copy that. Now we'll go to the temp folder where those other scripts were written. And we can see Imagine Logs, and it's appended with today's date and time that we ran it. So we'll just copy this directly into the logs folder. Okay, now this is where we get into the differences between an on-air and an off-air system. Now, ultimately, having all these individual files, we want to get them zipped up. If the system is not on air, you can use 7-zip. If the system is on air, you're going to want to send to compressed folder. The difference is that 7-zip is going to use all the CPU resource on the system, and that can affect playback. Another technique that I've been using is logging in over UNC from the jump box to the actual Versio, navigating to the temp folder. And then if you use 7-zip there, it's using the resources on the jump box and not the resources on the Versio. So ultimately, that's if you're going to zip them up, but this is generally what the log collection script gathered. Now the config, you can see this has been run a few times. We want the one with today's date and time. And you can see it's gathered a bunch of alternate data as well. So
Would you suggest just be best to just keep it as the compress instead of the 7-zip, just in case?
If we
do the 7-zip.
Right. Now, what you can find is that for the logs, it can take a while to compress them. As long as you don't mind waiting, this is single threaded. So you can just zip the whole folder here from the temp folder. And you can see that this is going to take a little while. ADC logs, they can get quite large.
I just haven't, like, I'm just now that you said we do the 7-zip and it could affect on air, I don't want and you know, I don't want anything bad to happen. That's why.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, like if we're using 7-zip on an on-air system, well, we probably wouldn't in the first place, but it would have to be done with a lot of caution. Because, like I say, that is a multi-threaded application, and it can use all of the CPU resource.
Right. Yeah. Just because pretty much the majority of all those Versios would be on air, except for that backup, the UHD backup. But yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. Is just be more cautious of using the compress. I don't mind waiting for the compress, but I'd rather do that than doing the 7-zip and then all of a sudden we're off air.
Oh, it probably won't take you off air, but you'll see hits in the video that's being played out. So as you can see, it is taking it a little bit of time here. This one was presumably not on air, but for illustration purposes.
Right.
Now, once you do have the zip file, that is something that you could deliver. You could pull it off the system and deliver it to us. And it would be primarily the logs and that audit file that we would be interested in. Now, I can see it's Microsoft time. The time's going up.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I just went from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
And once it's done compressing, it'll probably will show up in that temp folder.
Yes. So there will be a zip version of it in the temp folder.
Okay. And from there, would you go into this and jump box and find it?
Yeah, well, we could do that, or it's optional, right? So if you, the important thing is to gather the logs soon enough after the event so that it's not rolling over the logs and then we've missed the opportunity to investigate. So that's the biggest part. The second part is, yes, you can. You can zip them up and you can pull them from the system, and a rep can give you a location to upload them. So that's the other option. A lot of our customers already do that. They just collect the logs, zip them up, and send them to a folder.
For you guys to
Yeah,
look
on a
at.
SharePoint or an FTP upload or anything like that, depending on the rep. You just ask the rep for an upload location.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we can send a link directly from the case as well, where the files and logs will be uploaded to the case itself.
oh, okay. Okay.
Actually,
And
pretty huge. These files are probably prohibitive for doing that.
Yeah, I did mention that and discuss that with internal in regards to our CRM, but that was the preference of where I'd like to have it,
Yeah,
regards to the size.
smaller files, that's okay for doing that, but this is a very verbose collection, and
mhm,
I'll show you the file size once the zip is complete.
okay.
And you're using ADC here as well, and ADC logs,
Mhm,
those are a lot.
right.
And sometimes if I'm collecting logs and it's not related to ADC, I will not include them in the zip.
Okay. Well, what we have to keep doing. I know you said like every time there's an incident. For example, if we see an incident and we did this whole thing, and let's say 10 minutes later we see the another incident, do we have to redo that whole thing, or would it be best to wait for like a few minutes and then um, to make sure that everything, you know, everything is done, and then we do this whole process.
Okay, so that actually collected a fairly large file here. That's 1.5 gigabytes. And that's probably not something you want to upload to a case. But this is
Okay.
the file we're going to be going after if we're going to be reporting things to R&D for further investigation. This is the stuff we need. So there's that and the audit file that we created. And because of the size of this, I don't like to leave things lingering on the Versio, because if you just leave logs on the Versio, once they're copied off, there's no reason to leave them here.
Right.
So in this case, I'm going to get rid of these. This illustration is enough. I'm just going to get rid of the log files that we created. Now these config files, these are much smaller. So no reason, you can keep a history of them, and sometimes it's useful to have a history in case you need to roll back to something that worked like maybe a month ago. All right, so that is all there is to it. What we can do is we can start deploying to other Versios. This one is done. All right, so
Yeah. So I mean, do you want to try national?
national,
Yeah, the national HD.
sure. There we go. So let's have a look on C drive. You do have a scripts folder. Again, this doesn't look, oh yeah, there it is there. There's the version, old. All right, so let's get rid of that. Now that's a tiny file. So using 7-zip is no harm. Okay, so scripts are deployed here. Is there another one you want them on?
Plus HD.
Boston HD?
I guess we could do Boston HD. Yeah.
Okay, that one's done.
Uh, Plus HD. Plus. Yeah.
Okay, there's another one.
Um, the I can't find it. Pair HD utility too. The one above it. Would it be easier just to do it with all of them?
Yeah, we'll do them all.
Okay.
Okay, which one's next?
Spare N1 below, right there. Yeah, spare.
There and one? Sure. Okay, which one's next?
You did the UHD backup, right?
We
So
did, yeah.
okay, so I guess the main, the M.
Okay. Which one's next? I think we've done a bunch of them now. I don't think we've done. I don't think we've done Win or 360 Utility 1.
Hey Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I think my Bluetooth got disconnected. Yeah, you could do that one with me.
Hey, did we do this one?
No, not that one. I think we have just two more. I don't think you did the Providence one, right?
Let's take a look. We'll know right away. No.
And I think the last one should be the Connecticut HD.
Okay.
I think that should be all of them.
All right, then. Just a final note, running those scripts on an on-air system do not affect on-air.
Okay. Yep.
But outside of that, I don't think we have anything else.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
Doesn't seem
so
that hard enough.
no, it's not difficult. It's just if somebody does ask you to collect logs, that's
Yep.
just go for that collect log script.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ask for an audit as well, then just run the audit script. It'd be very
Okay.
unlikely that they would ask you for the backup configuration files.
Yep.
Those are largely used by reps working on the system.
Okay. All right. And yeah, so if someone needs I don't know, like let's say, hey, something happened in Pittsburgh, go to HD util 2, that's where that's where like the logs
Right.
and
Yeah.
either
So
zip or compress. Right.
right. But like I say, the important thing is to collect the logs before they would roll over. Sometimes that can be within 4 hours.
Okay. So like in between the 4 hours is where we should collect that logs as soon. I know you said as soon as possible when the thing happened, but we only have a 4 hour window for it.
Right. In some cases. Now some of the logs are persistent for weeks.
Okay.
But in the case of some of the Magellan logs, we've seen them roll over within hours.
Okay. I see. Okay. I'll think of it as just once it happens, do it as soon as possible.
Okay, let me shut down Emery mode here. All right.
Yeah, so thanks, Dan. So that was pretty useful information for everyone. I think if we need to assist on pulling those logs, it looks like we'll need access to the system. If any, if anyone from Neston is unable to do it at the current time, if you're doing something else, etc. But good information there, and definitely beneficial to everyone from our side as well.
Yeah, very, very helpful. Appreciate that. I don't really have any questions on my end about it. And this is obviously being recorded, so if we have to go back to look at it again, we can go back to this session and go back.
Yes, it is, and I'm actually going to use it as some screenshots and everything just to take away some details on that, because it definitely helps us from our side understand the system better, what you have set up.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that would be great if you can share that too, because then what these guys can do is make a Confluence article that'll help for future, because if we don't do it for a very long time, we're all going to kind of forget. So if we can create a Confluence article out of some of the screenshots, if you can provide them to us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll get
Yeah.
that and be
Beautiful.
part of the
Thank you.
case as well. Anyone else on the call have any questions or comments or anything they want to discuss or ask? Dan's here because Dan did a great job on walking everyone through it. I know it's a fairly straightforward process, but just being able to see it and being able to apply it definitely helps.
Absolutely, definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. If you think of
don't
anything
have-
later on, feel free to send an email.
I have no other questions on my end, but yeah, thank you so much for the demonstration.
Okay, perfect. Jay, I just have an update. I'll send out an update on a couple of cases from yesterday.
Okay.
I know you guys are just waiting for some feedback on it, especially the middleman software. I spoke to Ricardo and James, so I'll send an update earlier today
All right.
on what the latest is.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Thanks you very much for your time. Very much appreciated, Dan, and everyone else. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.
See you.
Thank you. Take
guys.
care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.